What's up, guys? JDB Sports here for the off-season program we got going on. Got Peyton here, myself, Alex. What's up, guys? So today we're doing the AFC East edition. We're breaking down the division as far as free agents go, notable free agent signings that they could possibly make, and what cap space and what casualties they're going to have for each team in the AFC East this week. We can start off for the Patriots this week. We got their positions of need. Now this is all basically opinion based. I'm gonna say right now it's not gonna be upper cut exactly what they need because this is what I think they need. Offensive tackle, interior offensive line, edge rusher, wide receiver, and interior D line. In my opinion, they're notable free agent. Only notable free agent, in my opinion, kicker Joey Sly. Kicker is the most important. You see what goes on with teams that struggle to have kickers this past season. Kicker is one of the more relied upon positions other than quarterback and crazy playmakers. So they have 125 million cap space. Talking about the Patriots, I think personally they'll get Ronnie Stanley and Milton Williams from the Eagles, as far as maybe Chris Godwin being, a third round out to give him a wide receiver too. What do you think about those? And what are your thoughts as far as everything else goes on that team?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think their biggest need is wide receiver. I think you got to give your young quarterback a chance to flourish, and he's not going to with a wide receiving core of Demario Douglas, Hunter Henry. Uh, I mean, Kendrick Bourne. It's a super weak room, and this is one of the better receiver classes we've had in free agency in quite a while. Um, I think the Bengals at this point are looking to tag T. Higgins, and I think it's going to be one of those situations again. So unfortunately, I don't think T's going anywhere. Um, but Alex and I touched on it a little before stream, but Chris Godwin is actually one of the options I liked hearing, just because reliable slot guy, veteran presence, and I feel like even coming off a severe injury like he did, you can kind of get him at a discount and pair him with Drake May.
Yeah, hopefully, barring any injury concerns, I hope he can right the ship because he's very explosive when relied upon and when healthy. So, Chris Godwin, that's my main pick right there. And like you said, with T Higgins being, potentially franchise tagged again, they're doing him dirty there. That's ridiculous. I mean, that dude deserves a long term deal. I know they have weak space or whatever, and they have to pay a lot of guys, but you know, figure something out for T, man, or let him go get a long term deal to whereas he's guaranteed some safety in case he gets injured. Because if you franchise tag him and let's say he tears his ACL week 1, week 2, something crazy like that, then it's just like it's gonna significantly diminish his value, and then you have to worry about him going through next year not getting the long term deal he deserves because of he's just coming off an injury.
Of
Hypothetically,
course,
you know
of
what I'm saying?
course. Yeah, yeah, and I think it sends the message to the locker room like, hey, we're not taking care of the guys that got us to this position. Hey, our as a player, I'd be like, is this a long-term fit for me? Are they going to take care of me down the line? Or are they going to just use and abuse? Um, so definitely bad on the Bengals part. But yeah, I don't see T. Higgins going anywhere. Chris Godwin seems like more of a fit. And then another veteran I kind of like going to the Patriots is, call me crazy, but Bobby Wagner. I think they really need a linebacker, and I think a veteran presence, Mike Vrabel and him do have a connection. I think it'd go a long way.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Bobby Wagner go over there. Leader and tacklers for Washington this year. Still, a very good force, especially coming home on the blitz and run defense. But his coverage, he's a little slow. He's getting slower. He's losing steps with it as old as he's getting. Do you think that's a good? I mean, I know you said you'd like to see him over there, but do you really think that Bobby Wagner is the man that they need manning that defense?
I don't think he should be the forefront per se. I do think the back end of that defense is going to be more of the forefront, talking about Christian Gonzalez, Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers. I think that's the backbone of that defense. However, you saw with the Commanders last year how they inserted Bobby Wagner into a young, rejuvenated team, and it really worked out. He influenced that defense in such a way that they played better than expected, in all honesty.
Yeah, him and
And I think that could
Louvu
go a long way.
really wrecked it. So yeah, he would definitely be a good mentor, and I feel like he has a really likable personality. So I feel like he'd be a good locker room fit, a good leader, good natural born, grown man right there. No children. Let's go. So I could
Mhm.
see it, but I feel like I still stick with my side. Shore up the offensive and defensive lines, get that blind side, ready to go for Drake May. Give him Stanley, and Milton Williams. He was really opposing, like he was crushing for the Eagles last year. So, well, this past season. Um, yeah, but that Bobby Wagner, that could be a sneaky one. I could see that happening too. I heard last I heard from the Commanders Report, Chat Sports. They were saying that they really want to get a deal done with him, and they really want him. They want him back, and he wants to be back too. So I mean, if he ends up hitting free agency, I feel like New England gives him a good deal. So
Yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
but moving on to the Dolphins, perhaps.
Yes, sir. Let's get this. Let's get this negative cap space on a row. Negative 7.68 mil in cap space.
Yeah.
Um, Positions of need are guard, safety, and linebacker. Notable free agents are Calais Campbell, that homewrecker Raman, Emmanuel Agba, Snoop Dogg, Tyler Huntley, and Jordan Poyer. My
Hmm.
my potential signings I had at first were re-sign Poyer or get Cameron Bynum, but the thing is they're gonna have to really make some cuts to make that happen. Um, should really help, and maybe Drake Greenlaw as far as his past injury could help get a team friendly deal as far as that goes to help out the Dolphins.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
No, I do like you know that the Dolphins, albeit last year Tua was out a good amount of games, they stayed decently competitive. However, yeah, that O line is in shambles. You got Liam Eichenberg starting center going away. You got Robert Jones starting right guard going away. Teron Armstead has struggled to be healthy. And especially when you're a team that's predicated on the run game, a lot of the times they're in 21 personnel and not being able to run the play action that you're wanting, not being able to run the ball effectively, and Raheem Mostert also being gone. I think Jalen Wright fills a role pretty well. However, you got to expand upon that O line, in my opinion. I think Anthony Weaver's done a great job with the defense as far as elevating its performance. Um, but yeah, I would say safety and then run game. Someone like a Justin Simmons, a veteran who's going to be on the cheaper, because again, not having that cap space flexibility is going to be a problem. And then I look at someone like Trayvon Merrick from the Raiders. He had a solid season for him. I don't believe they're looking to re-sign him. However, he's on the younger side of his 20s, and I feel like he could fill in perfectly.
Sounds really good to me. Um, as far as what they do to get under the cap, what do you think they could possibly do if they can have a potential cut here or there? Do you have any idea of what they could possibly do to get under the cap?
What they would do.
Yeah.
I think they would look at Jalen Ramsey's contract. He is one of the highest paid corners in the league. You could look to extend him, stretch that money out over a couple more years and lessen the load, at least for this year. I don't think Jalen Ramsey wants to really go away from Miami. He hasn't requested out by any means, and he seems satisfied there.
Unless you
And
really make
then
unless you make him restructure, then he could probably have a fit. Who knows? I mean, he's not like how he was back when he was with the Rams. I mean, he's getting older now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's either you do team friendly or they can find somebody to replace you. I mean, if you say he's satisfied, if the team comes to the table with Ramsey and his agent and says, hey, I want you to restructure this deal. Can you guys do something to help out the team so we can get more pieces around y'all and we can win? I don't see him doing it. I see him requesting a trade at that point. I don't see him
Fair
restructuring his
enough.
contract, really. But
Yeah, I don't think he would take a pay cut per se, but I do think he would possibly stretch money out over other years,
yeah.
especially because he's on the older side of his career now. I believe he just hit his 30s, so time is of the essence at this point. Um, but yeah, I think they restructure him, and then again, I think they just look for cheaper alternatives on the market. I don't think they make any splash moves by any means. Maybe Cam Robinson from the Vikings. He was a little banged up this year, left tackle for them. See if he can move back to right tackle, where I believe he started his career. Um, anything at all for the Dolphins, because losing a lot and not being able to get a lot back hurts.
Now moving him to right tackle though, do you think he can handle it? That's to his blind side now.
Of course. And again, there's not too many as far as ones on the market. If I'm looking here, I mean Ryan Kelly would fit in well with that O line as well. Center for the Colts, and pending free agent. I've liked the Chargers looking at him as well. Fan of them. And even let's see here.
Morgan
Who else
Moses
is
is
on the
another
market
one.
at right tackle? Morgan Moses, Kevin Zeitler would be a really good signing. He had a really good run with the Lions and everything. He's an unrestricted free agent.
He was with the Giants for a little while too, wasn't he?
He was with the Giants and he was with the Ravens as well.
Man, been around town.
Ben, take it around town.
Yes, sir.
But you want to jump to the Buffalo Bills?
The Bills. Let's not smash any tables with these predictions, but positions that need cornerback, defensive tackle, edge rusher, and wide receiver. Notable free agents, in my opinion, Amari Cooper, Rasul Douglas, and DeMar Hamlin. Potential signings: negative $14.5 million. Well, it's $14.5 million over the cap. One of the poorest teams one of the poorest team in this division for sure, but one of the poorest teams being negative. I don't think they really can sign anyone unless you're really making some, decent cuts, and they could use more help at that wide receiver room with Amari Cooper potentially leaving, even after they just traded for him. It's the only thing that sucks about trading for somebody at the end of their contract, but let's go ahead and I'm gonna pull up and see what they can potentially do. What are you thinking in the meantime?
I like him going for a cheaper wide receiver option. If I'm looking at one, I'm between two people in my mind right now. One being Marquise Brown, free agent wide receiver from the Chiefs, and another one being Darius Slayton, free agent wide receiver from the Giants. Two speed guys who play pretty much exclusively on the outside at this stage in their career. I know Marquise Brown, he played a little bit of slot last year, but I believe he's better on the outside. Those two guys are who I would be looking for, because you already have your slot guy in Khalil Shakir, and you already have your guy who can go up at the catch point and make these spectacular catches in Keon Holman, who was a rookie last year.
Now, I'm asking too. Do you think that you can go to Josh Allen and say, "Hey, could you restructure your deal for us?" He's a $44 million cap hit, 16%. Von Miller is looking at $23 million at 8.66%. Do you think that Von Miller would take that? I wouldn't say pay cut, but more or less a restructuring, just to help them get under the cap and get somebody, because he's locked down until 2028 and Josh Allen until 2029. So I feel like Josh Allen would be more willing to, as far as help them get down under the cap, especially to put them in a position to try to win and beat the Chiefs for a change and get to the Super Bowl. I feel like he would be
Yeah.
more team friendly to that idea. I mean, Von Miller too, because he's on the latter end of his career, but he's still a wrecking force in certain situations. So those would probably be my top two restructures. If I had to pick a cut candidate, or Samuel maybe. I mean, wait a minute, let me look at him. So
I
dead,
think they need wide receivers so much, and
yeah,
he's not paid enough to
yeah,
where they'll cut him.
his dead cap would be too extraordinary as far as it goes because it's only 9 million for his cap hit this year, 12 million for dead money if he were to get released. So
Yeah, it
no,
doesn't make much
that doesn't make that.
financial sense.
See, I'm not a financial guru or whatever. See, this is what it is. So we're here. But like I said, maybe Von Miller or Josh Allen come down and try to restructure. Maybe Ed Oliver too, being a sneaky third. I mean, he's slated to be a free agent in 2028. So, um, I think Josh Allen would probably be more or less a restructured candidate. Well, no, actually, Von Miller would probably be the best.
Yeah,
I only say because
they got to do something with that Von Miller deal.
yeah, maybe more or less Von Miller being the number one, then Josh Allen. Because if you look at Josh Allen, quarterbacks they're getting paid, and him having a $44 million cap hit. I don't know. Whoever did these deals, 44 million in 1 year is crazy. Was his contract backloaded or something? Like, was it more cheaper in the beginning? I don't know.
I mean, quarterback contracts nowadays are insane. Dak was asking for about 60 mil a year.
60 mil just to freaking get injured and get outplayed by Cooper Rush, but we're not going to talk about that one. We'll save that one for NFC East edition, folks. We got a good one on that one. So,
is there any other free agents you're really looking forward towards the Bills, or keep it mellow, go with the wide receiver type approach?
I say
cheap wide receiver.
Yeah, keep it mellow. Maybe look at dude, I'm not gonna say Jeremy Chin because he had a decent year, but then he's gonna want more money. He's not gonna be trying to help anybody. Yeah, maybe just a wide receiver. Maybe get they can look at De'Ami Brown on the cheap. I mean, I'm not sure he's gonna be fetching much money. Don't know if we re-sign him right away. You could probably get him at a cheap deal. Maybe he replaces Amari Cooper going forward in that role. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like De'Ami on the outside quite a bit. I just don't know if he's an upgrade over their current wide receiver core.
And it's really hard to look at. It's really hard to look at it, especially with their cap space, their bind that they're in. It's like with the Patriots. It's easy just to freaking throw balls to the wall and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna throw, Milton Williams, and I'm gonna throw, you can see DJ Reed, things like that. Throw everybody at the wall because you have so much freaking money." But then you look at the Bills with negative 14.5 million. It's like, what can they really do? Should they just try to make a cut or two? Maybe they might be a team that's not active in free agency. Maybe they just try to rely on.
No, I don't see them being real.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. They're a team that drafts well, so there's that.
Who's up in there? Is it Chris Bean or whatever the hell his name is? Who the hell's their GM?
Oh. Well, I can't remember. Brandon Bean.
I don't want to say Chris Bean. Yeah. Who else is that?
That's all good. No, Brandon Bean. No, he's a really good GM. I would think he's in like the top 10-ish range. I can't really put a ranking together on the top of my head, but he's been really good with drafting.
We really just flew through everybody. I mean, we did the Jets already, that's our last one, right? The Jets. I don't think we talked about
the Jets.
Not
Jets. Really.
Talk
about a bind.
11 million cap space. I said before when I had the wrong cap numbers before stream, Justin Fields potentially on a team-friendly deal. Maybe they could still make that happen if they make some cuts. Notable free agents, in my opinion. I mean, we talked about Hassan Reddick before. As far as he goes, I mean, he was kind of being wonky and requesting trades left and right, and didn't he just get traded to the Jets? DJ Reed.
Yeah.
Tyron Smith's getting older. Morgan Moses is definitely getting older, more injury prone. I mean, he's only slated to make, I think, 5 mil. He's only a 5 mil cap hit this year. Well, no, that's a 5 mil salary. But let me pull them up real quick. Like I said, I don't think they're quite active. I mean, could you get a safety for that cheap? I mean, you could probably re-sign Morgan Moses. You could re-sign it.
I do think they create a solid bit of room. Because Devontae Adams, I believe, will not be a Jet to start the season. I think they move off his contract.
I've seen that too. But how much dead cap is that going to give? Let me see. Actually, I got him right here. Devontae Adams is their number one freaking god damn 38 mil. What did they do? Wait, this was a Joe Douglas signing, right? Or was this a Woody Johnson based off the Madden numbers?
Well, the contract was traded over from the Raiders, and the Raiders didn't have to pay a majority of it at all. Like, they didn't pay nothing. They just basically forwarded the contract over to the Jets.
Yeah, their cash total is 36 mil. Cap hits 38.34 mil. 13% of the total cap. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's over a tenth.
Dude,
they have 53 players active roster. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is second most paid, but they're talking about moving on from him. They're gonna eat 49 mil in dead cap with that this year, I believe, right? So
yeah, it's bad.
Jesus Christ, man, they were really reaching for these deals, to say the least.
They had to go all in, because the minute you bring Aaron Rodgers into the building, you're bringing all his shenanigans with.
Yeah, and you're expecting a Super Bowl, so for sure. But then at the same time,
yeah, and
the Ashwagandha caught up with him.
Yeah, they thought they were a quarterback away. The Ashwagandha.
My man, booty butt naked out in the woods.
Ayahuasca.
Whatever, same damn. No, I'm just kidding. My man, booty butt naked. I don't know what the hell even is ashwagandha, man. I don't know why they came up. Whatever.
Ashwagandha is like it's a supplement people use.
Okay. Right. They use it with like Shilajit and stuff like that. Okay. They get bigger pencils or something like that.
Yeah, they just want to write a lot.
Yeah, gotta write and erase. Gotta write and erase those contract deals. Gotta erase them from Jets history, man. I remember a couple years back, well, maybe like 2 years back or so, a lot of people were talking about, oh, Jets are going to the Super Bowl. Jets are going to turn around and make, do great things. Yeah, right. Aaron Rodgers freaking tears his, what do you tear his Achilles on the freaking flag run out?
Well, no, first play of the game, but the flag run out's knee.
That was his that was his only play of the season. That was his best play.
That's his highlight.
Oh man, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers hater by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, come on, man. You're 42 years old. There's no freaking way you're gonna come.
Just retire, dude.
Yeah, seriously. Stop trying to be like Brady. Even Brady was showing cracks.
Yeah, at least Brady won at what, 43? 42, 43. He won a Super Bowl, but
yeah, but either way,
Aaron Rodgers ain't that guy.
A lot of people were talking about in that final year that Brady was washed and he should retire and he wasn't able to really complete a deep ball and blah 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 blah. And he came back and showed all these people wrong, but at the same time, there were cracks, and I feel like that offense that was put in place really masked some of those deficiencies for sure. But at the same time, they're not doing that for Aaron Rodgers. What was it, Nathaniel Hackett and freaking Todd Downing, correct?
It was terrible cycle of play callers, and then they went from Robert Saleh to Jeff Ulbrich, and it just wasn't a good coaching carousel. I do think the Jets are one of the worst ran teams in the NFL.
That man was a brick of nonsense, if you ask me, Mr. Ulbrich. He signed on as a D coordinator somewhere, isn't he? Or at least an assistant.
The Falcons. He's with the Falcons.
And you
Um,
think he's better than Jimmy Lake? That's crazy. Come on now.
I think they're about the same. I don't see much upside in getting someone like that. I rather have someone a little bit younger, a little more fresh-minded, because I like the young age of coordinators and stuff developing into coaches.
Go get Jim Haslam. Talking young. Nah, man. Wade Phillips is still a free agent, right? I don't know.
Oh gosh, not Wade with the Broncos, dude.
Get geriatric. We don't need younger coordinators. We need geriatric. People are gonna have a heart attack running up and down the freaking sideline yelling at their players. Let's go. Let's build
We
an
need more Vic Fangios.
build an all geriatric team. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the trend is older for D coordinators, younger for offensive coordinators nowadays.
Yeah, for sure. Bring back freaking what the hell is his name? Jimmy Johnson. That man's freaking
Oh
stinking it up. That man's
gosh,
stinking it up in freaking what is he on Fox? Whatever he is.
he's on Fox.
Fuck.
Yeah,
He's
with
stink.
Gronk.
Dude's stinking it up. Him and freaking who the hell else was on? You say him and Gronk. Oh man, they got to get younger there too. I mean, that and Cower, him and Cower, they're too old for the game and they're unrelatable to this gen. I'm not gonna say this generation in per se, but you know how many older people are like, oh yeah, let's go watch Jimmy Johnson and Bill Cower online, when on Fox and wherever the hell else they do. But I don't know. It seems like they should
Put
just
Greg
start
Olson in there.
Greg
Like
Olson. Yeah,
he got snubbed a spot, so put him back in there. Michael Strahan's still there. I like Michael Strahan doing analysis.
yeah. Freaking take Stephanie A. Smith and put him on there too, just for the fun of it. You need
Oh
somebody,
God.
somebody to argue some basis claim. Stefan and
But
Skip never did a show, did they? Or did
Skip
they?
was on ESPN for a while and then transitioned into Fox Sports One. Stephen A. Smith kind of stayed with ESPN for most of his career. So, but yeah, do you have any free agent predictions for the Jets? Really? I know they're in a little bit of cap trouble, but I do think they clear enough money to get at least a safety. I like, in my mind, a Justin Reed possibly from the Chiefs. I think they might try to overpay like a Marcus Williams from the Ravens. Or again, like, I don't know, maybe like a Xavier Woods from the Panthers even. One of those three options I believe would fit in that safety slot really well. And then as far as O-line goes, I would go cheap. Maybe re-sign Morgan Moses to a 1-year deal.
I was thinking maybe re-sign Morgan Moses and maybe try to snatch Jordan Poyer if they can't re-sign him. At the same
I
time,
think he's looking towards retirement actually.
Poyer, you think so? Okay. But
Yeah,
honestly,
it's in the wickets.
they're going to need another wide receiver after Devontae Adams' departure if that's the case. So that's technically a spot of need.
For sure.
So I mean, I went Justin Fields on a team-friendly deal, but I think they let Tyrod start. I feel like they let Tyrod start and they draft his replacement. So I feel like that's the smart way to go. But I feel like Woody Johnson steps in and be like, oh no, his mad brain is gonna be too low. We gotta get this guy. We gotta do this guy. We gotta do that. He's gonna come in and step on their toes and he's gonna pick who he wants. He's not gonna let the team do it. He's not gonna let the people he hired do what they were hired to do.
He wants Mac Jones at QB. Mac Jones.
Oh man.
Mac Jones, Jameis Winston, Joe Flacco, top 3 free agent.
What do you think about Marcus Mariota potentially getting over there on maybe a 1-year deal? Maybe 1-2-year deal. I don't know.
I think he's like a slight step over Tyrod for me. But again, he wouldn't move the needle. I do like your idea of Justin Fields on there on a team-friendly deal. That's kind of an area I didn't expect to go originally.
It's either that or re-sign
I
Morgan.
don't think they need another veteran guy.
Maybe look to re-sign their
So,
in-house. I mean, I feel like Hassan Reddick they just let go because I requesting trades and barely even playing. Dude's a cancer in the locker room.
yeah,
Dude,
his contract's void at this point too, so most definitely they're not re-signing him.
so you could definitely look into, like you said, re-signing Morgan Moses. Maybe looking at a Tyron Smith deal, depending if what he wants to do, whether he wants to retire or anything like that, or if he wants to stay in a Jets uniform. And then yeah, maybe Justin Fields. I guess I'll keep it. I keep going back and forth, back and forth. But let's just keep it. Let's say they clear the money out. Not just get Justin Fields on a good deal. Give him a chance to actually start. I feel like he's gonna take it. Improve the naysayers
Yeah.
wrong from Chicago and a little bit of naysayers from Pittsburgh because everybody was saying once they brought Russell Wilson and Russell Wilson was starting, everybody's saying, "Oh, Justin Fields isn't good enough." We literally benched Justin Fields for this guy, Mr. Unlimited Diarrhea. Oh man, so he's got his he's got his naysayers. Um, but as far as that goes, that kind of wraps up what we got going on. I mean, unless you have anything else you want to add or anything like that.
No, I think we touched on everything thus far. Again, next stream we'll move into the AFC West,
Let's go.
my
Let's go, guys.
division.
Hey guys.
Oh,
All
we
right.
got some special guests on here
Yeah,
to end the stream.
It's my children's right here. Good guys, you guys go ahead over there. But all right, AFC West. You ready for it? Ready to break it down? Definitely do. Yeah,
Oh, I'm so ready.
go Chargers.
Go Chargers.
Take the L Chiefs. All right, man. All right, guys. It is what it is. We'll see you guys next Saturday here. Hopefully, we'll be doing. We'll either do live or we'll do like this. We'll see. But we'll see. We'll be here to break down the AFC West, and you guys enjoy your week. Two Peytons.
Take care.
All right.